High winds and flooding left a big mess for many areas in eastern Idaho today. Good evening and thanks for watching tonight. I'm Todd Blackington. The winds have died down, the floods are receding, and the damage is now being tallied. It was a day that many will remember for a few years to come. Mother Nature unleashed her fury in an impressive show. Phil Campbell's been following this from the second the calls came in for an overturned semi. He's got more for us tonight.
Uprooted trees, a tipped over semi, and flooding. The weather Wednesday was full of extremes.
Yesterday we actually had a very large Pacific storm that was right overhead, and then we also had an associated frontal boundary, and what that means is we had some very warm air and cold air. So with everything combining, it was just extremely strong winds, and we saw wind speeds in the area, in the forecast area, up to 100 miles per hour, which is very unusual for us.
Flooding was an issue in parts of Bannock County as a quick thaw sent melted snow rushing down the slopes and across the roadways. That was also the case in Bonneville County, where authorities were rushing to fill sandbags.
It didn't feel very warm, but it was quite warm, and that wind pushing that temperature is what caused the runoff. So if it snows, you know, we're not going to have a real problem as long as we don't have that thawing. If we have a nice slow thaw, then we're going to be just fine.
For most of us, the biggest concern was the wind. Traffic was reduced for most of the day after a semi was blown onto its side near McCammon. Thousands of people were left without power in Pocatello and Chubbuck. And in Bingham County, the wind toppled trees, sent shingles and trampolines flying through the air, and caused a lot of damage to at least one business.
The wind just come up and removed the roof on the horse paddock next door, and I heard a crash, come outside my shop and watched the second half come over. Just freak wind. I thought my shop was coming apart for a minute.
The winds peaked at about 2 o'clock in the Riverside area, and it was like day turned to night as debris filled the air. And Monty says it brought a sound that he will never forget.
It sounded like a freight train when it hit that post right out there. My other truck was behind that post, and it sounded like a freight train hit it.
Reporting in Bingham County, Phil Campbell, KPVI News 6.
All right, so we want to see your pictures from yesterday's storm. You can submit them to our Facebook page or our website at kpvi.com.